Okay, here we go. We're dropping into Seep Springs on this July Thursday. I don't know what the hell day it is. Thursday in July. Well, I planned on talking more, but he's taking a bit of focus here. More than I remember last time. But everything's got cliffs and ledges and so tight. I'll try to ride super safe. But I promise you, no matter what obstacle is before me, it's getting conquered by this little bike. It might surprise some to tell you this is the easy and the unscary part. Yeah. I promise you. It's going to get a little bit more rough. Technical, as it were. Oh man. Of course, last time I was out here in my big 650 Gnar, it's a lot less agile, more stable. Stuff like this where it's lazy riding, it'll get you through it with less thought than this will. Because this is so agile and ready to flick at a moment's notice. You actually have to maintain the stability of the bike, whereas the bigger bike has its stability. You kind of get along for the ride, pick a good line, put your weight where you want it. When we get to the harder stuff, so I'm not gonna appreciate being on this bike for just a lot of pushing the bike around and hitting stuff that's way too heavy. I was allowed playing. I got a skid plate that I bought for this thing. Pretty much covers it from the front tire to the back tire, including the front exhaust pipe. So little things like that, I don't worry about them. Heck with it anyway, you know. What I will say about this little bike is it don't act like a little bike. I believe that even its down low power is as strong as the 650R I have. Which, you know, if you make sense, give the technology the updates, and two-stroke versus a four-stroke, you're looking at roughly a 600 an hour, as far as the 300 two-stroke making as much power as the 604. So, you know, this thing isn't high-strung at all. It has a long disc prime here. So here's first. That's obviously overkill right now, but I'm using it for the engine braking. Ooh, okay. Look here. And this is a good example of what I mean about this bike's low end. Second gear from here, you'd expect to be a problem for it, but it's not. There's right out of it. And a lot of that has to do, it has the fatty pipe on it instead of the stock pipe. The stock pipe just felt like it was there. For one, they figured out they could stamp them out pretty cheap. They're the ugliest thing you ever darn seen. And then for two, it limited the power, but not in a good way. It limited it across to the red band. Like you would have thought, well, they're doing that because they want more power down low. It's wrong. This fatty pipe is meant to be the top end screamer version of a pipe. It's got way better low end. This third gear. Right out of it, like nothing. Go back to second. And that's why I always find myself telling people who ask, hell yes, change that thing. The bike is better in every single way. It has better power at the low end, better power at the mid, and better power at the top end with this pipe. So yes, change it, always, no question, change it. Don't even buy the skid guard for the first pipe, just hope you break it so you get to change it. So you have an excuse to change it as fast as possible. Well, Cliffside stuff, you know, here in Colorado, that's about all they give you because, you know, you look around out here, where are you going to build a house? Okay? Nowhere. That's why it's ours to ride. At the same time, this terrain, it's always a little edgy. I mean, you get little breaks, but they're rare. It's like 1/10 of your riding will be something you can actually give it some gas on. Most of it's like this. Or more difficult. Here's a nice open area. We can open this a little bit here. Can't see around this turn. Slow up a little bit. Alright. Here's another example. I'm all the way up in third gear. You think this bike's a struggle? It's not. Watch what happens when I lay into it. You know, it's not the most ideal way to use it. But man, is that nice. To just be able to be in third gear and not worry about the power coming off of the bottom to keep you going when you're going slow. Oh, that's hard deflection. Good need to put that this way. Pull through here. Right. Alright, what else have I done to this thing? Basically nothing. I added the hand guards. I think the foot brake was a little too small, so I put a larger one on there. And that's it. Besides that, oh yeah, the spring. I'm a big guy. I'm 230 pounds lean, or when lean, you know. And when I'm fat, I'm 330 pounds. So I had to put a heavy spring on it. I went with the 230 just because I wanted it to be softer rather than soft. See, some of the stuff where you're on a heavier bike, you're in a bit more of a struggle. Anyway, so I put the 230 pounder spring. For one, that's what I weigh right now. And for two, I'll do this. For two, I wanted it to be more stiff in the back because I had read so many reviews about how undersprung this thing is. And I was assuming they were meaning that it was bottoming out and such. And that by putting a heavy spring in the back and then getting my weight to the back, as long as I'm not making big lands, you know, front heavy lands, I'm not bottoming out nothing because I got that big spring back there, and the more weight I lose, the stronger it'll be against this kind of stuff. The front is stock. People complain, whatever. I just turned the compression up. Never had to think about them. They do fine. Look at them go. That deflection off that one rock, I guess. But I don't know. Maybe I just haven't ridden on premium enough suspension to expect more from it. But I mean, how much do you want from it? Okay, right there. Ooh, okay, here. Let's jump on this. Yeah, by leaving the front soft, I can still hit stuff like this, and the bike just soaks it up. And I just sink my weight to the back, which is where it's supposed to be anyway. If I stiffened up that front suspension and I ran into crunch like that where you just went through, you're going to get a lot more bucking out of the bike. So we go up to here. Look at that. I mean, this bike just acted like I was going down the highway. And that was about a sudden 6 foot elevation. Those are about 3.5 foot tall rocks. And it just eats it. Anyways, not to brag on it too much, but it really is remarkable. You know, I started riding on a big fat adventure bike that everybody makes fun of me for. I still dream of that thing all the time. It was so damn fun. But when you start on something like that and make your way to dirt bikes out here, oh, the difference is, it's hard to say. But aside from that, like I was mentioning earlier, my other bike is a great big 2004 XR 650R. And I like it for its own things. If I want to ride a little lazier, it's still the better bike. Just because of the way it is suspended. Right there. There we go. Alright, as we move up here, I'm trying to keep my pace up because I got more stuff to go do today, get the kids in school and stuff. It actually does take quite a bit of time to do this loop. And I know that it keeps getting harder and harder. And then it finally turns back into a plain dirt road. Ooh, caught myself looking away and almost got swiped on that rock over there. Okay. Alright, here comes some exposed cliff. So, well, you guys aren't as afraid of heights as I am. It's some spooky stuff. I pretty much wouldn't bring anybody out here to this part because the consequence of messing up is too bad. I'm not saying it's difficult, but if you mess up, it's going to be a big problem because, you know, falling off a cliff is generally a big problem. Oh, here. Up. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah. Making pretty good time for the moment. Oh boy, here we go. Get that rock on purpose. Here we go. little momentum there. But, you know, you got the right bike, you got the right bike. See, with my bigger bike, I would have had to roll back a little bit to get a run up on that. But this thing, front tires is so willing to get out of the way. Okay. Moving through, just upwards. Can't see around this corner, so we'll go a little board slow for a second. Don't need much momentum for this. Take a little hit. Okay, good. Yeah. People try to make a lot more of dirt biking than this. This is what it is pretty amazing. Alright, here we go. This Cliffside Road continues. You see it across the way there. We will be coming back across that. Keep it moving. One thing I make sure to do before I come on these rides is to overhydrate before I exit the door. I got waters in my backpack. You will waste so much time if you stop. And if you take what should have been an hour and a half joy trip and suddenly make it 2.5 hours because you're constantly stopping for water. Do this and do that. I like to get out of here. Get it out. Say, yeah, I did that. I love this stuff. Get on. The rest of it. I don't need to spend time standing around my bike right here. Look at this place. Here we go. Up. Yeah. Completely banking Cliffside to my right. Now, most of y'all think, oh, you're a whip. This ain't no big deal. Well, if you don't think this is any big deal, wait till you see this little corner I'm coming up on. Oh, geez. Here we go. We're going to take a wide and see what we got. Alright, get straightened up here. Let's go. Alright. Go back a little bit. Yeah, I was giving the bike gas while I started at an angle, so kind of slopped to the side I didn't want. That combined with my raised anxiety, the fact that it's a cliff, made me abort mission when I'm pretty sure I could have just recorrected it and kept going. But when you're in a dangerous situation, go ahead and take the moment to think about it, okay? Don't be a tough guy. I think I'm a tough guy, and I had no problem pausing there. Let's see, that way, and this way. I don't know. This way. This is kind of smooth. Which I need for a second. Let my hands decramp for the Cliffside maneuver we're doing. Alright, this is some flow. Flow a little bit. A tip if something like that ever sneaks up on you like it did just there to me, ride the bottom of it. Try to avoid it, you'll probably crash. You need to know and set up to hit it in a way that it's not going to get your bike out of alignment or ride right in it. Otherwise, your bike's probably going to go down. You will have a hard time trying to keep the bike from going to a low spot. Though it's not impossible. Whatever, the guys that can ride these things are 2x4s. Look at this. Here. Alright. It's necessary. You know, I come around that curve, and suddenly it's boulders. Those aren't rocks, those are boulders, folks. Big. Go to the left there. 5380E. Alright, let's do it. Go ahead and go through the rocks in front. It was an easier line over there to the left. You know, it's about fun. Determined to not get off the bike, which is making things a bit scarier. Got it. Okay. On we go. I'm sure there's some dirt bikes there. Drop right off of that. But I'm not one of them. Ooh. That wore me out a bit. That's right, he's got some recovery track here for a second, it looks like. Oh, look at these trees. turned into wide track. Not single track, removed from the group, boo. Easy all day. I guess I should work this in. I've been riding motorcycles for a while now, and first of all, I didn't get one until I went 10 years without an accident or a ticket. It wasn't a conscious choice, but after that amount of time, I realized I was going to stop screwing up so hard, which I did all the time when I was younger. I was averaging 2 wrecks a summer, you know? If I'd been on a motorcycle, would have been in big trouble. But anyway, that had a couple big wrecks that I guess scared me straight, is the way you want to put it. Spin around on the highway, that kind of stuff. And it's like my brain snapped to the reality of the situation. You know, I always knew it. I was a smart kid and everything, but your brain does not subconsciously understand how dangerous of a situation you're in. And there's a couple times getting scared like that. Subconsciously it knew. So, and, you know, when your brain knows, then when your brain knows that, it can subconsciously bring things to the front that you don't notice subconsciously. And if you're driving in a situation that requires all of your attention, it's always going to be unsafe because things will distract you. And if it requires that much of attention, you're probably doing it in a way that's dangerous. Which was true for me. I was making it take all of my attention, but I was going very, very fast. You know, I was the asshole that tried to, get through everybody in traffic. You know, nobody could stand in my way, and how dare they if they tried. Anyway, once that switch turned, I got a motorcycle. And the thing that's kept me safe on a motorcycle more than anything else is the fact that I go the speed, 1, that I'm comfortable going, but 2, I go the speed that my sight distance allows. So it would be fun to go around this turn at 55 miles an hour. Might could do it. It's a double wide drag. But if I don't know if there's a cow or a person or a log or a car or another bike, there's all kinds of problems that can come up around these blind curves. You need to go slow enough that you can stop before the end of your sight distance. Now, you don't have to. You're a daredevil. You're one of these dirt bike magicians that just needs to go fast and have fun. Well, I'm not here to rain on anybody's parade. All I know is I've been doing this for a while now. I've never gotten hurt, and I'm never the fastest guy. Just like that. I'll put it out here. Well, I'm going to shut it all down now because it's actually a pretty boring ride out of here. But that was a nice loop out of this loop of this place. There's always more. I've lived here for 3 years. I still haven't seen all of it. There's so many little offshoots. And it actually connects to another trail system up north that's literally hundreds of miles. So I could never show you all of it. That was some of it. I hope some of you enjoyed it or got to feel like you were out here with me, embracing the struggle and jolting this landscape, really. Because, you know, while I'm focusing on the trail, you guys need to see all this. The mountains in the background, the cliffs, and the heights that I'm at. You know, I can't focus on that. For one, I don't like heights. It throws me off. It makes me nervous. I end up going slower and making little mistakes. I go slow enough that little mistakes don't hurt me, but the more nervous I am, obviously the slower I'm going to go. Goofy house that everybody acts like it's amazing when they found it. It's really right at the front of the dang place. And near it's just flat dirt road.